Hey, single lady, welcome to a brand new episode of Fairy Dust TV. I'm your host, Jenn Burton, romantic fairy godmama for smart, successful single women around the world. Today's topic, when will I find love? Now, before we dive into today's topic, I would like to share with you my dating timeline to meeting the love of my life. Why? Because I want to show you what the possibilities are. Okay, so in September of 2006, I started dating and doing what I call mantourage dating. By November of 2006, I had met the love of my life, my now husband. By March of 2007, we were in an exclusive relationship. And by May of 2007, he had asked me to marry him, to have his child, and to move in with him. Now, by the way, this all coming from a guy who had never had a relationship for longer than 3 months, had never told a woman he loved her, and had never taken a woman to meet his family. So it was pretty remarkable. And the possibilities are truly endless. Things can move so fast. But unfortunately, if you are listening to this video for me to tell you exactly what day you are going to meet the love of your life, you're in for a big disappointment. I can, however, tell you what you need to do to help expedite that process in a way that keeps you in integrity with the universe and the laws of love. So let's get to that today. Let's start with number one. And the first thing that needs to happen, if it hasn't already, is for you to open your heart to the possibilities in romance. Now, exactly what do I mean by that? I mean that most women, when they come to me, and I was in this position as well, have a very specific idea of what is attractive to them. So for some women, it's certain cultural backgrounds, say Latino or African American, and they have very specific guidelines to attraction. He has to be so tall and so ripped, and he has to be this or that, and he has to have this eye color, and all these very specific things about men. The first thing that you need to do if you truly want to find love without settling, by the way, if you truly want to find love and you're truly open to the possibilities in love, is you have to cast all of that aside and say, you know what? Hey, I'm here. I want to see what happens, and allow yourself to invite other type of men into your life. By the way, this is so much fun, but so many women are so scared of it. Okay, and then the second piece of that is that you need to start mantourage dating. Now, what is mantourage dating? The short form of mantourage dating is dating more than one man at a time until you find your forever man. So I used to be the woman, and you might very well be as well, that would date one guy for several months and just fingers crossed pray that this was going to work out and turn into something. Well, when it didn't, then I'd be heartbroken for months on end, and then I'd start the whole cycle over again. And this is the most ineffective and unfun way to date ever, period. So I want you to cast that whole dating thing aside, the way you used to date, and I want you to adopt mantourage dating. So not only are you opening up to the possibilities in different types of men, you're opening yourself up to the possibilities of more than one man until you find your forever man. Now, just hold your roll for a second, because I know what happens when I tell women this, especially for the first time. They're like, but Jenn this, but Jenn that. Okay, before you go there, before you let yourself go there, I have a mantourage dating FAQ PDF for you underneath this video that I want you to check out, that's going to answer a lot of those questions that pop up into your head. This is so important. Before you discount what could be the most magical time in your life while you're creating romance that you've never experienced before, you need to go over these mantourage dating FAQs, because otherwise you could push something out of your life that could have changed it forever. I am not kidding you when I say changed it forever. Changed mine, and it has changed women from around the world. It is something that you need to consider right now, especially if you want to find love, true love. Now, moving on to number two, I need you to break down your walls. Now, what do I mean by walls? So we women spend a lot of time, saying what we don't want and what we don't need and what we aren't willing to do, and we build these walls all the way around us to protect us from heartbreak, or heartbreak that we're afraid of. Okay, so how do we do this? We do this by not being proactive in your love life. So you might be a busy woman who lets your career get in front of your love life at all times. So you never date, okay? That is one way we build walls. You can pretend to be super hard when you're not. When you're not really. And I know you ladies, you have this big game going. There's a lot of like I mentioned earlier, I won't tolerate this and I won't tolerate that. And sometimes you're really harsh on men too, way too harsh on guys that you don't like. But then that guy that you really do like, the one that makes you feel something below the belt that you haven't felt in years, then all of a sudden he comes around, and then instead of walls, you have no boundaries. By the way, before we move on into number 3, you young ladies that I hear so much about, and I'm sure it's not just young ladies, but I've been hearing this a lot lately, and it's quite heartbreaking. You ladies that are sleeping with lots of guys like it's absolutely nothing, I'm calling BS on you. Not because I don't believe in your right to sleep with whomever you want. I have no problem with that. I'm calling BS because I don't think that you're truly that emotionally disconnected. I honest to God don't. I'm calling BS. I know that you've built a wall around you emotionally, and then you go out and you're using sex as a tool. And at some point, that is going to come around and bite you in the ass. And I'm sorry to say that, but I want you to hear it. So hopefully you can stop and you can reconsider how you are approaching dating so it doesn't emotionally devastate you later. You don't have to pretend to be hard to have an amazing love life. I can help you create an amazing love life. So keep listening. All right, number 3, put up good boundaries. So a lot of women come to me who have really high walls that we were just talking about. But once they meet that guy, the one that makes them feel something below the belt that they haven't felt in years, then all of a sudden they have no boundaries. No personal boundaries, no sexual boundaries, no boundaries at all. And because they're so afraid of not feeling this way with another man again in their life, they don't honor everything that they want to honor about themselves, and they let him get away with murder. So they violate their sexual boundary. They sleep with him before they're really ready to, because they're afraid they're going to lose him, or they let him get away with calling whenever he wants and him dictating, everywhere they're going, everything they're doing. There's just numerous things that they do where they don't truly honor themselves. So number 3 is about putting good boundaries in place. And I'm going to link underneath this video to a class that I teach on boundaries that you need to listen to, because boundaries are sexy, okay? Men do not stay with women who don't have boundaries without having horrible relationships. Personal boundaries are so very sexy. So if you want a great guy, you have to have good boundaries. Being the woman that lets him walk all over her is not going to get him long term, okay? Not for any mentally healthy guy. All right, moving on into number 4. I want you to let dating be fun again. This can be achieved in so many ways. Dating does not have to be a chore. Your dating experiences can be like mine, which were fantastic. So fantastic that I had to really think about whether or not I wanted to be in an exclusive relationship. Or they can be even more magical, which is what I help women do all around the world. So it's not as hard as you think. It's about being playful, creative, sweet spot communication, and then combining that with your good boundaries, opening up your options in men, from the idea of who you're attracted to also the number of men you're dating. When you let dating be fun again, you will be amazed, truly amazed like I was, at how fast things can happen for you romantically. And yes, you will find love everywhere. You will have several options in love. It is not, just a one for one thing all the time. You're going to have, wow, you could say I can follow this path of love with this man, or I can follow this path of love. And it's so much better than just accepting whatever comes your way. So you remember that whole, let me date a guy for a little bit. Let's see if it works out. When it doesn't work out, okay, let's be devastated for several months. And then, oh shit, let's do it again. That's insanity. You don't have to do it anymore. So again, I can't tell you exactly what day, at what time this is all going to happen for you. But I know if you listen to all of these guidelines and you implement them into your romantic life, lover girl, you are going to be amazed at how fast things can happen. So amazed that you're going to have to catch your breath. Okay? But don't let that scare you. It's way too much fun to miss. Oh, okay, sweet single lady. I know that this is your year for love. I really do. All you have to do is put yourself in the right place emotionally, physically, and boundary wise. Let this be fun again. I will see you next time on the next Fairy Dust TV. Ciao.